Regarding the pan-European politics and geopolitics, one nation always stirs the pot, sending shockwaves across Europe. Budapest is truly the man of steel, unyielding and fearless. It relentlessly defies the Western hegemony and its machinery like no other. Now it has again taken a bold stand, exposing the hypocrisy of the so-called Court of Criminal Justice. Spoiler alert, Netanyahu won't face an arrest. Hungary's bold Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has vowed to welcome Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, defying the ICC's contentious arrest warrant for the alleged war crimes. This came as the world's highest criminal court issued warrant for Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant for the war crimes and the crimes against humanity in the Gaza Strip. This ruling is significant as the world continues to witness 400 plus days of the Israel-Gaza war with no end in sight. Orbán, whose country right now holds the rotating European Union presidency, has strongly criticized the ICC ruling and pledged unconditional support for the Israeli Prime Minister. Even at the time of ICC's arrest warrant for Putin, Orbán had declared that he will never arrest the Russian president. Speaking on Friday, he declared that if Netanyahu visits Hungary, he will ensure the court's judgment would have no legal consequences and that Hungary will never comply with the ICC's terms, calling the court's decision outrageously brazen and cynical. The International Criminal Court (ICC) arrest warrant against the Israeli leaders have already sparked a diplomatic controversy, revealing the deep divisions among nations regarding their response. This marks yet another instance that the ICC has issued arrest warrant against leader of a democratic country. Though Netanyahu and Gallant still remain free to travel in countries like Israel that are not the signatories of the 1998 Rome Statute establishing the ICC, it also includes the United States, China, India and Russia. But the Israeli Prime Minister and his ex-defense minister can face arrest if they travel to any of the 124 ICC member states, which includes the European Union nations, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Japan, and the numerous African, Latin American, and Asia Pacific countries. The European nations right now find themselves in a diplomatic minefield, wrestling with the delicate balance between the international legal obligation and the existing foreign policy stance, especially for the countries that have historically provided the unconditional support to Israel. For instance, the United Kingdom. The UK has boldly declared that it will arrest Netanyahu following the ICC ruling that issued a warrant against him and his ex-defense minister for the alleged war crimes. The Downing Street indicated a potential legal confrontation. But when we talk of Hungary, a signatory of the ICC, Viktor Orbán, its prime minister, has boldly declared that it is not going to happen. Orbán's stance has ruthlessly exposed the Western hypocrisy from time and again. While the European nations gleefully celebrated the ICC's arrest warrant against Putin, their reaction to Netanyahu's similar predicament reveals a stark double standard. But the Hungarian leader has consistently chartered a defiant path. Not only did he embrace Putin, but he has also proudly met him in Beijing last October. A photograph of their handshake has sent already shockwaves across the EU. Economically, Hungary has been aggressively deepening ties with Moscow. A Russian state loan has financed approximately 80% of the two nuclear plant reactors at Parks 2. And so, this is why Orbán's message is clear, that he doesn't give a damn about EU directives and the Ukraine war narrative. And now, similar is happening between Netanyahu and Viktor Orbán. For the unaware, Orbán and Netanyahu's political connection runs deep, rooted in a shared ideological DNA that transcends a mere diplomatic formality. Their first encounter dates back to 2005, when Orbán was in opposition and Netanyahu was serving as the finance minister. The mutual respect was instantly forged. What truly bonded these two political mavericks was their defiant stance against the left-wing narratives. Both leaders have masterfully navigated the challenging political landscapes, transforming their respective parties, Fidesz and Likud, into a political movement like no other. Their shared blueprint is turning seemingly vulnerable nations into formidable state entities. Netanyahu's vision for Israel from a small nation to a geopolitical powerhouse deeply impressed Orbán. The mutual admiration wasn't just a political strategy but a profound ideological alignment that challenged the conventional political wisdom. And so, here we can say that Orban's defiance to the EU policies is nothing short of a geopolitical middle finger, consistently challenging the bloc's sanctimonious directive with brazen calculated moves. His entire political persona screams rebellion. A maverick who views the EU regulations as mere suggestions and not mandates. Whether it's his pro Russia stance, economic negotiation, or diplomatic maneuvers, Orban right now is operating with a swagger that suggests that the EU rulebook means absolutely nothing to him. He's not just pushing boundaries, he is obliterating them.